A box leaves a warehouse in China, just 15 by 20 centimeters, barely a kilo. The label? Dog food. But inside, a fine white powder. The core ingredient of one of the deadliest drugs in the world, fentanyl. Cheaper than heroin, 50 times stronger. And this single box? It carries enough poison to kill thousands. In the US, fentanyl has overtaken cancer, car accidents, even heart disease, becoming the leading killer of adults under 50. How can something this lethal move across continents like an ordinary online order? Behind it lies a billion-dollar pipeline, powered by cartels, loopholes, and global trade. A supply chain so deadly, it hides in plain sight. Fentanyl isn't new. Doctors have used it since the 1960s as a powerful painkiller and anesthetic, but its strength is terrifying. 100 times more potent than morphine, 50 times deadlier than heroin. Highly addictive, highly lethal. Over the last 15 years, the illegal fentanyl trade has fueled a crisis unlike anything America has seen. In 2023 alone, more than 75,000 people overdosed. Since 1999, synthetic opioids like fentanyl have killed nearly 500,000 Americans. And one reason is lacing. Dealers secretly mix fentanyl into heroin, cocaine, or counterfeit pills to stretch supplies. The result? Users get hooked faster and die without even knowing what they took. What begins as one line, one pill, one hit, becomes a fatal mistake. For cartels, fentanyl offers a deadly advantage that changed everything. Unlike heroin, it doesn't need acres of poppy fields, vulnerable to weather, pests, and military raids. There's no planting, no harvesting, no waiting for a season to end. Instead, fentanyl begins with chemicals. Simple, small shipments that can be ordered like household supplies and shipped quietly across borders. With them, cartels can move production indoors. A few rooms in a nondescript house can replace entire valleys of crops. No farmers, no fields, just chemistry. It's faster, cheaper, and easier to hide. Within a single day, a small lab can turn powders into thousands of doses. Doses stronger and deadlier than heroin ever was. This is why Mexican cartels have almost completely abandoned poppy farming. Why risk the uncertainty of agriculture when fentanyl can be manufactured with terrifying precision, in bulk, and with devastating efficiency? Every day, thousands of packages flow out of China. Clothes, electronics, dog food. Hidden among them are fentanyl precursors, harmless-looking powders with deadly potential. To travel unnoticed, they're packed into master cartons, large boxes bundling smaller shipments. Deep inside, one tiny package of chemicals vanishes into the stream of global commerce, riding the same conveyor belts, the same cargo planes, the same ships as everyday products. And just like that, a box carrying death takes flight straight to America. In the 1930s, the US introduced the de minimis rule. Any package under a certain value avoids taxes and inspections. For decades, that threshold was $200, but in 2016, it jumped to $800. The result? Nearly 1.5 billion packages now stream into America every year, most untouched by customs, 90% duty-free. For legitimate businesses, it was a boost. For traffickers, it was the perfect disguise. A killer hidden inside the system itself. At LAX, customs officers face mountains of boxes. Checking them all is impossible. They rely on spot checks, scanners, chemical labs, even electronic trackers. But the volume is overwhelming. Only a fraction gets flagged. Most are waved through, including our package. Officially, it's now inside America, a poison hiding in plain sight, disguised as nothing more than everyday mail. From here, the package travels south. First to an elderly man near the Mexican border. His side hustle? Driving parcels into Mexico. He doesn't ask questions. He doesn't know what's inside. And when customs glance at his car, he looks harmless. He's waved through. Minutes later, the package arrives in Sinaloa. Inside a hidden drug lab, the white powder is unpacked and prepared. In a dimly lit house, two teenagers follow step-by-step instructions. They're not chemists, they're not experts. They're just cooking fentanyl. 1 kilo of precursor powder can produce 50,000 deadly doses. For them, it's routine. For America, it's devastation. With no oversight, no safety protocols, and no limits, these makeshift labs churn out death by the thousands, batch after batch. Once processed, the fentanyl heads north again. Hidden in cars, sewn into clothes, disguised as candy. Cartels gamble on one fact: customs can't check everyone. More often than not, U.S. citizens themselves drive fentanyl across the border in their private cars. A sniffer dog looks away. An officer takes a break. And just like that, the poison slips through. In 2024, U.S. authorities seized nearly 10 tons of fentanyl at the border. But experts believe far more got through. Washington accuses China of fueling the epidemic. Beijing denies it, pointing to America's insatiable demand. President Trump even launched tariffs on Chinese imports, calling it a new opium war. Meanwhile, Mexico faces accusations of turning a blind eye as the cartels grow richer. And Europe? Already seeing fentanyl mixed into its street heroin, raising fears of a crisis spreading beyond America's borders.